Well, good day, gang. Hope you're all well and having a great day, a week, a month. I just wanted to do a quick video on nutrition and lifestyle habits for people with specifically cancer, but you can use it for any illness or disease. And again, when I do these videos, it's always coming from my 12 years of experience helping my wife over multiple cancers, my 26 years working in the fitness, health and nutrition industry, my thousands and thousands of hours of reading studies, books and all the rest of it. But obviously the big thing for me was the 12 years with my wife in a multiple cancer battle. And what really alarmed me, and it still does to this day, is in 12 years seeing hundreds if not thousands of medical professionals, different cancers, different problems, there wasn't one sheet of A4 paper given out to my wife regarding lifestyle advice outside the hospital walls. Physical, mental and emotional lifestyle advice, nutritional, however you want to package it up, which is seriously alarming. Now let's ask ourselves, why could that be? Why would that be? But it can only come down really to three reasons, okay? And again, these videos are never meant to land in a criticism of anyone or anything. It is a criticism of one thing. That's the medical system's approach to lifestyle, which we'll get through this next video. But the three reasons I think it can only come down to is, number one, medical professionals are not educated enough in the world of nutrition and lifestyle to see how these things impact illness and disease. Possibly, I don't know, but are they walking around with their eyes closed? I don't know. Even if they're not educated enough in their own fields, surely they're learning along the path. But let's just say that's number one, that they haven't got the knowledge and the education to give out to the patients. That's fine. We don't all know everything, okay? Number two for me then is they don't believe in it, and that's very alarming, because if they don't believe in nutrition and lifestyle habits affect illness, disease, on preventative measures or recovery measures, it really means that they don't believe in the human body. They don't believe in natural immunity. They don't believe that the body can heal itself. They don't believe in the actual ancestral behavior of the human body, which I don't believe that's the case, but again, that could be a possibility. Or number three, they're not allowed to do it. Big Pharma, who is predominantly their boss, may strike them off if they get involved in that, okay? Because they know where that will lead. That will lead to less pharmaceutical drugs being purchased, etc., or being taken and all on. So it can be one of them three things, which is they're not educated, they don't believe, or they're not allowed. I don't know. Probably a combination of all three of them, okay? But let's open this can of worms a little bit now, guys, because it's very close to my heart on how cancer patients have to battle through without getting any type of lifestyle or nutrition guidance. It really pained me. Now, I didn't come to the party until about 5 or 6 years. We thought that the basic, we were living a relatively healthy life, but if you get cancer, you've got to go above and beyond. You've got to accept that you're not in the normal field then, and you've got to go above and beyond and do things more aggressively. Unfortunately, that's where you are. We didn't realize that at the beginning. We were just doing the basics of living a normal sort of healthy life. Still going out partying and drinking, all the rest of it. We just didn't really come to that party, okay? So if you look what's happening over the pond, RFK Jr., who's the health minister in America, he's just about to implement a system where he might start striking off doctors if they aren't getting trained in nutrition and lifestyle habits to prevent diseases, and also when people get illness and disease to help in the curing of these things, which I would say would be a absolute godsend to this industry, and it will perhaps help us rebuild our trust with medicine and rebuild our trust with medical professionals. Because I've got a few of these stories on my own, actually thousands of them actually. The first time my wife was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, I remember she had a double mastectomy, and I've turned up. I'd come in from work when she was recovering. I'd gone up on my lunch break, and of course the doctor obviously very quickly worked out what sort of thing I do for a living. We were having a chat. He knew I was a personal trainer, and then he cracks a joke saying, "Oh, don't you start with all your health habits now, and make sure she can have whatever she wants now. She's been through a lot." Well, that is not the right message to start a cancer patient off on. She can have what she wants. She can do whatever she wants because she's had a bad trip. Now I get it. I get where he was coming from, but her immune system is under severe stress. The toxicity levels, she's just been pumped full of chemo and God knows what. Toxicity levels are there, immune system's down there. We got to do that, haven't we? We got to get the immune system up there and the toxicity down there, which is not going to happen by having pizza and chips when you go home after major surgery. So there's alarming stories all over this, is the reality. Now, the argument is not whether we need pharmaceutical drugs or not. That's not the argument. The argument is why isn't major lifestyle changes pushed from day one and every single day of that cancer patient's treatment plan? Changes, make positive lifestyle changes. Why isn't it pushed every single day from diagnosis onwards? You want that patient as healthy, as vibrant, all the toxicity out of them, the immune system boosted in every mechanism known to man, and we know what is known to man. There is millions of studies knowing what was going to boost your immune system, what's going to reduce your toxicity levels. Okay, if you think about it, if someone's working tooth and nail to boost their immune system, reduce their toxicity levels, do you think they're going to fare better in a cancer battle? Let's just use you a quick example. Okay, if someone is eliminating ultra processed food and only eating whole foods, okay, eliminating alcohol, eliminating stress, getting into nature every day, grounding and doing exercise, only drinking filtered water, doing mindfulness and meditation activities, spending as much time as they can in the sun, looking at things like hot, cold and oxygen therapy, talking to long-term survivors and getting them ideas. Would you think that they're going to fare better than people who are drinking, smoking, eating ultra-processed foods, stressed to hell, if they both had cancer? It is 1,000,000% without a shadow of doubt. That's the way it's going to be. But why wouldn't the pharmaceutical industry and their staff do that? Because it will mean a reduction in pharmaceutical drugs. Huge reduction. I'll give you a story. When my wife had that 3 or 4 year spell, which I talked about a few videos ago, she was flying, we were picking up the pharmaceutical drugs and binning them. Okay, that's what we were doing. And I remember a doctor saying this once to me, an oncologist, asking Phyllis in front of me if she was taking the the drugs that she was supposed to be on because she's looking so well. Think about that. Are you taking the drugs that you're supposed to be on because you're looking so well? It's absolutely bonkers. Okay, so you gotta, there's one question. If you're in a cancer battle at the moment, there's what I would ask any single member of your medical team and your professional team. Don't be afraid to ask them, why aren't you giving me lifestyle advice for my condition? Why aren't you giving me lifestyle advice which is going to help me prevent any future problems with my condition? And don't be afraid to challenge them. And if they roll their eyes at you, which they may and they probably will, you have this. It's your bloody human right to challenge them. You got your back against a wall. You're looking up on your bloody back. You're in a mess, and you need all the help you can get. And if they're not capable of providing you with lifestyle advice, with nutritional advice that's going to help you in your journey, then get rid of them because you've got a drug dealer in a white coat. You haven't got a bloody doctor or medical professional. We all learned in COVID, right, what they peddled. Okay, we all, thank God I didn't buy into it, but they don't like being challenged. I had 5 doctors in here in COVID. Only one of them left. That actually peddled the wrong thing. I had 5 doctors. One of them, the youngest of the lot I had at the time, was the one who called it out, and he's now a PT, by the way. I won't name him, but he's a good friend of mine. The other 4 pushed the narrative, and even when we overturned everything that happened, and they were rumbled, and we realised it wasn't backed on science or evidence or nothing. It was an ideology pushed by politicians and big pharma. And when all that was rumbled, they still couldn't face the music, okay? Because for some bizarre reason, doctors do not like to be challenged. A medical professional, somebody's not really challenged. Welcome to the real world, guys. We all get challenged in our profession, and when people have cancer, they have the right to bloody challenge their medical team to make sure that the things that they're getting told and things that they're getting advised are correct, and the things that they're not getting advised about, which is lifestyle, physical, mental and emotional lifestyle choices, nutritional choices, okay? So we all, right, let's strip it back. We all we know that cancer, we know that cancer, can be caused by genes, and we all know we can be genetically predisposed to cancer, okay? But we all know that if the genes are the gun, it's the environmental issues that pull the trigger. That's a bloody fact. Our food, our water, our medications, air, the toxic beauty products we put on ourselves, and the cleaning products we got in the house, etc., the stress, etc., etc., etc. So, we're aware of that. So when they keep saying it's genetic, it's absolute bollocks. Chris Beats Cancer, I'm a massive fan of. He put a great video up a few days ago, and he talked about this, blaming breast cancer on genetics all the time. 87% of breast cancer patients do not have any previous family members with breast cancer. Identical twins, and he's backed this up with studies on his page. Identical twins, if one gets it, the other one's only 20% chance of getting breast cancer, 80% chance of not getting it, and they're identical twins. So when they try, instead of advising you to make lifestyle changes, they want to say it's a genetic problem because it puts you off the lifestyle path. Okay, so it's really, really naughty, and I'm not blaming everyone in the medical world. My wife had some wonderful medical professionals in her journey. The Convelli medical team went above and beyond. I'm not blaming it, but we got to get to the root cause. We got to talk about this stuff. People like myself are not anti-medicine. We are pro-life. We're pro-honesty. We want just doctors to have a moral compass about what they're doing. Doctors to think outside the box. Doctors to fucking bring some common sense to the table. That's what we want. We've all just been damaged by the nonsense that went in COVID. We've all lost complete trust in medicine and medical professionals. Unfortunately, it really is. Medicine saved my life. I had my appendix burst when I was young. I don't think I'd be here today without the work of the surgeon on that day. I got the utmost respect for trauma professionals. But the problem is, in the world of cancer, there's so much corruption and money and misinformation and bad medical practices. It's absolutely frightening. And what we want now is we want you guys to come to the party. We've had enough of dealing with this crap. Get to the party. Let's start talking about preventative measures. Let's start talking about when someone gets cancer, ticking all the other boxes. Whether they do or do not take your medical approach up is irrelevant. If they do all the other things, it's only going to help their journey. Because our eyes are open now, unfortunately, for you medical professionals. We ain't going to put up with this stuff anymore. Okay, we are going to challenge everything. If I had a problem and a doctor's going to advise me to take this, I'm going to run that medicine through so many paths to find out where I end up before I take it. I'm also going to run that professionals through so many paths, like my clients do with me. Okay, so it's time to come to the party. We've had enough of dealing with this nonsense. We don't want a drug dealer in a white coat peddling drugs and ideologies. We want doctors to look at our lifestyle. If I turn up and I got high blood pressure, it's not because of the lack of blood pressure tablets, because I'm probably eating too much ultra-processed food, I'm drinking alcohol, I'm stressed to hell, I'm not spending time in nature, I'm not sleeping well, whatever it might be. It's not the lack of bloody beta blockers or whatever they might put me on, So get to the party, guys. The world at the moment is waiting for the medical world to come and join this holistic, natural healing movement. Yes, we need a fantastic medical system. We do. We all know we need it. We all respect it. I give this story out to my clients. If I left the studio now and got run over, and I wake up, do I want a surgeon standing over me with a stick of morphine, or B, do I want a tree hugger standing over me with a stick of celery? Give me the surgeon with morphine all day bloody long, okay? But we have got to get to a place now where they join the party and realise the body can heal itself. A strong immune system is important. There are things outside their pharmaceutical cupboards that can help their clients. And there's a million things, actually. The reality is, it's more likely that 80% of the healing of that client is going to take place outside the hospital, and 20% outside the doctor's surgery inside. Do they need the drugs they're prescribing? That's the thing. Can they just help a patient without even putting a drug in their hand in a GP surgery? Come on, let's get to that place, okay? And in the world of cancer, yes, it's complex. Yes, it's a real complex disease. And very often you do need help from the medical world. Well, they're highly likely, but you also need help from the holistic world and the wellness world. And you also need to be putting in practices that's going to take your immune system up naturally, reduce the toxicity naturally, work on your body physically, mentally and emotionally without drugs, without harmful toxic drugs, okay? So yes, we need a systemic treatment plan in place, but we got to look at the other stuff, guys. We really have. And I hope this video lands right. These videos are never meant to poke or probe anyone, guys. They're from experience that I've had with my wife and from my experience I've had in this industry, and just speaking to thousands of medical professionals over these years and patients and cancer patients. I wish you all the best if you're battling cancer, and please nag your medical professionals for lifestyle advice and guidance, and if they don't know it, reach out to other people. Good luck, and I hope this video helps you.